major player early in this draft will be Brian Burke, the general manager of the Vancouver Canucks, with the number 3 pick.
HENRIK and Daniel Sedin were inseparable growing up in Sweden, but they were never supposed to be that way in the National Hockey League. Two of the top-rated prospects on the planet in 1999, even the Sedins figured their time as line mates was over.
So you get 4 2/3 in return for the first pick overall.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
You got my word, so Jay's heard it. We're not taking anyone but twins, and he promised me he's taking Stefan.
But a flurry of draft day trades allowed the Vancouver Canucks to select the Twins' 2nd and 3rd overall.
The Vancouver Canucks are very proud to select Daniel and HENRIK Sedin.
Was it as big a deal to you two as it seemed to everyone else, the fact that you had to play together, or would you have been fine to be on different teams?
You know, we were best friends and we played on the same line for 6 or 7 years, so that's what we wanted.
You guys sitting in the right order? Daniel's on the left? No?
Even as the Twins struggled to establish themselves in the NHL, it was obvious the Sedin's game was unique.
HENRIK Sedin centering, Daniel scores! Daniel Sedin's first National Hockey League goal!
They were all about puck possession long before the rest of the league caught on to that value.
HENRIK Sedin to Daniel, he scores! Great goal, Daniel Sedin from HENRIK Sedin in overtime.
What allowed the Sedins to succeed was something a lot of people still don't understand: their toughness.
Night after night, they faced teams that would, try to be physical, punch them in the face, and try to get them off their game. And they had to keep playing, and they still produced under those circumstances.
Set aside for a moment their physical toughness and durability. Think about the Sedins' mental toughness, their emotional toughness. All great players get booed, but name 2 other elite players who have been criticized, even ridiculed, as much as the Sedins were.
Unfortunately, when a narrative gets started, people want to pile on, sisters, not tough enough, all those sorts of things, just completely unfair.
Look at this down the corner. Daniel Sedin and Clark will.
The Sedins were too soft, too passive, too slow, too weak, too Swedish.
They were easy to pick on, I guess, a little bit because they were Swedish, a little bit because they were fair-haired twins.
Mostly, they were too identical.
I'm not proud to say this, but it took me 3.5 years to tell them apart. For 3.5 years, every time they'd walk into the bus, whoever it was, I'd say, "How you doing, Danny?" And I'd get the nod or I'd get the...
As with the abuse they absorbed on the ice, the Sedins never complained. The criticism made them stronger, more determined, even better leaders in a dressing room where they have dictated the standard for commitment and professionalism for more than a decade.
The Twins took over, but they took over just by being themselves. Best example as far as, coming to camp and being in great shape. Best example, before and after practice about working out.
Every year in training camp, they were the number 1, number 2 in fitness. Even in their 30s, they were still the fastest on the bike, shuttle runs, pull-ups, bench press. They were always number 1 and 2 on the team.
That fierce fortitude was as important as their skill, as Danny and Hank amassed more than 2,600 games and 2,100 points entirely for the Canucks.
Daniel centers, HENRIK Deeks scores! 1,000 points in the NHL, and he's done it against the man from whom he received the captaincy, and they have a quick embrace.
I thought it was appropriate, to congratulate him. Not just, on that goal specifically, but more of, his whole journey up to that point and the years that we spent together.
Daniel Sedin, he scores! Slap pass, score! Daniel from HENRIK. Oh, what a goal! HENRIK Sedin, the hat-trick! Daniel Sedin, Spinorama scores! Daniel Sedin, what a beauty!
And they did all this while possessing something else a lot of people couldn't see: goodness, decency, selflessness.
Anytime somebody new would come in, they would greet them, take them for supper. They were as good of players, and they were MVPs in the league. They were better persons.
They treat people the right way. That's what I like too. They, especially their own teammates, coaches, staff, they're just like the ultimate professionals.
Thank you. Good luck today.
It is ironic that so much of the discussion about the Sedins was framed by their appearance, when so much of what they accomplished was driven by things you can't see. They're two of the best in every sense. There will never be another two players like them.
They were twins, they were best friends, they were great players. They were the whole package.
They're so humble and pretty quiet guys. But when they're on the ice, they made something very special.
They've made a great impact in Sweden for playing hockey. They're someone that inspired a lot of kids to start the game.
They were two of my heroes growing up. They obviously have some unbelievable skill, but I think their work ethic is what separates them from most guys.
I think those two now realize the amount of respect that us players have for them. That's the only thing that matters. The respect's always been there. It'll always be given to them, and that's what makes them Hall of Famers.